Hey parents, thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this video. Tim and I, we really appreciate it. When we first began these videos in January, then we meant these to be a moment where we can talk about a couple of things that are important to the ministry here at church.
That's right, Matt. We view these videos as a chance to share why we do what we do, why we think it's so important to invest in the next generation, and really, in a way, give ourselves away for the next generation. So some of the content, right, you may have heard before, but we really believe that we all need reminders. We need a refreshed vision. So we believe that spending time with kids and teenagers is one of the most important things adults can do. I mean, everybody had a mother, right, who gave birth to us. We had parents and guardians who didn't let us starve to death. We had other adults who kept us running into the middle of a busy street.
Yep, absolutely. Now think about it this way. You only exist because some adult somewhere cared enough to be present in your life. And if someone gave you enough time and attention to help you get to where you are, then would it be valuable for you to do the same for some sweaty, sticky, smelly, snotty, snobby, selfish, stubborn child who acts just the way you did when you were that age? Because, after all, we were all kids once. And we all had moms and dads. We all had other adults who were present in our lives.
Yeah, and I think it's important for us to know and remember that we all play a role in the lives of the next generation. And as members of a faith community, of a church community, we make a promise to our covenant kids, the ones that are here now.
Yeah, and now let's face it, there may always be kids, but the kids who are here now, they won't always be kids. We have a limited amount of time to imprint on the soul of these children the importance of a relationship with their Creator.
The fact is, what we do this week matters. And it matters because it builds on what we did the week prior. And we've always illustrated this in the past with the image of a marble jar, right? The idea is to have a visual representation of how much time you have with the child from the time that they're born to the time that they graduate from high school. Now, this could feel morbid to you, right? I mean, I don't want to think about the fact that when my son Knox is 9, he's halfway there, 468 weeks left. But to be honest with yourself, choosing to willfully ignore it doesn't actually cause anything to slow down. It really just causes us to miss the time that we do have. It causes us to put on blinders and miss the beauty and the power of key transitions and phases in the life of our children. I really believe that it's key to figure out how much time we have left and to make each week matter.
Now that's the big picture. We have a limited amount of time before they step into the next phase of life. And even now, our children are moving into new phases, transitioning into new ways of thinking, new ways of engaging with the world. They're changing mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And just as your child will most likely transition to the next grade level at school, here at StoneBridge, we also follow that rhythm and student transition into possibly new ministries. Whether they are transitioning from the crawler classroom to the walker classroom, or from middle school ministry into the high school ministry, as a church, we want to make all of this transition happen on the same day. And we call this day, this year on June 11th, Promotion Sunday. Now, this might be the first Sunday that your child will change classrooms on Sunday morning or change overall programs. So, for example, if your child will be in the fall a rising 7th grader, they'll transition to the middle school ministry. And on Sunday morning, they'll move across the hall to the room we call the lounge. If your child will be a rising 9th grader in the fall, well, then they're going to be moving into the high school ministry from the middle school ministry.
That's right. So please don't forget, Sunday, June 11th is Promotion Sunday.
Yep.
But we have one more thing that we want to share with you, right? We want to invite all parents out to what we're calling our ministry open house. The goal with the open house is to give parents a chance to hear briefly the vision behind the student ministry, as well as meet our small group leaders. We really believe deeply in the power of a small group and the power that it can have on any person. And so we want you to meet the small group leaders so that you can encourage them, they can encourage you, and you can pray for each other.
So the details are this. Sunday, June 4th, 1 week before our Promotion Sunday. On that Sunday, we're going to offer 2 different times in the morning in our cafe and the lounge upstairs for you to stop by, no more than 20 minutes. You can either come after the first hour or after the second hour. We'll begin about 5 minutes after the worship service ends. We encourage you to stop by, hear what's going on, receive a few resources, including a small group prayer card with your student small group leaders on it, and get a chance to meet the leaders who love and want to be involved in your child's life and in your family's life. Both parents don't need to attend if that's easier. And again, it won't take any longer than 20 minutes that morning.
Yeah, our hope and prayer is that you feel encouraged, that you don't have to do this alone, that raising kids, parenting is not an alone thing, right? The community that God has given us is a beautiful way to give and receive support. And so those 936 weeks could seem huge when you feel alone, but you're not alone. We want to be there with you, and we want to lean into the lives of the kids around us. And that's a great question. What if you chose this week to lean into the life of a few other kids? The more of us who intentionally lean into the lives of the next generation will begin to multiply and make the most of the time that we have. This truly is our chance and our opportunity to give ourselves away to the next generation.